Gonna go.
All right, I'm good. Now I can hear. I couldn't hear before, so.
Oh, you got some headphones. Okay,
I got
now
some headphones.
fully-
You gotta look professional with your dollar
Yeah,
store
man.
headphones.
Yeah, man.
$6
I thought
for
I
a
had.
pair.
I was
If
being
it's-
cheap. I thought I had some.
Was the if you don't if you haven't learned anything about Instagram, it's about looking the part, Travis. That's all that
Oh, hang on.
matters.
Hang on. I get my son's gaming ones.
There
so
you
don't
go.
worry.
Yep, there you go. Just
There you go.
it's all image. They
There
don't
we
have
go.
to
Now
actually
it's all
do
in it.
anything.
There we go.
Perfect.
You fit in, man. You're
Now-
set.
Yeah, now I look like the rest of you guys. This is
There
great.
you
Yeah,
go.
you're like I'm fully engaged. I know what's going on.
You need to get a boom for your mic so you can grab it and bring it real close when
I'll
you have
just-
something
I'll
really
just
serious to
talk-
say.
I'll just talk like this.
That's right. We can all just grab. Listen, guys, serious business that we're talking about here.
Did you hear?
Oh, okay. What? Tell me, you guys. What's going on with IG? Is it good? Is it bad? Is it evil? Is it worth it?
I'm
I'm doing my top 10. I'm 3 in.
Yes.
I'm gonna do 3 at a time.
I actually, to be honest with you, I actually toy with getting off all the time because
Right?
sometimes I just get so frustrated and irritated, and I'm like, or I see something that's just so stupid. I'm like, is this what this is coming to now? And but then I'm like, you know what? You're doing it because I'm doing it because I enjoy it. So I'm like talking to myself. I'm like, you're doing this because you enjoy making the reels. You enjoy showing the content. Who cares what everybody else is doing? It doesn't matter. Just keep having fun with it. And I figured out the day that I stop having fun with it is the day I'll get off.
Yeah, that's a good motto, right? Like if you're doing it for you, and as long as it's enjoyable for you and not, I mean, everybody has good and bad days. It's not frustrating, then I think it's worth it, right? It's a wonderful place, like you say. We are the problem that I've always had with being self-employed is, and this isn't a sob story by any means, but it's a lonely existence, right? Like you're working by yourself. You're the boss. You're not really anybody's buddy. You're about making money and make sure things are going. You got to be the hardliner. And certainly in my world, in my space, it's a competitive world. So you're not really hanging, you're not talking to your contemporaries because you're all sort of, certainly in the early days, vying for the same business, right? And did we lose James?
Nope, I'm here. Can you hear me? Oh, did I drop
James.
out?
Blink two times if you're still here. No, he's gone.
He's gone.
I'm out. Hold on.
Starlink.
Yep, Starlink. Hold on.
Tap back in, James. Come on back, brother. Let me know or send a message in the Instagram chat. Always typing. Typing away. And so he's switching. He's switching the seller. He's going to burn up all his data.
Not bad if he has unlimited though.
That's true. Gone are the days where it's like free unlimited calling after 6 o'clock at night or whatever it was back in those.
Yeah. Well, one thing I tell you what, when I was in Ireland, one thing I learned is that that's not the case everywhere. They still have to buy data over there. There is no such thing as unlimited data plans overseas.
Oh, really? You just don't, like, you guys just...
Yeah. I mean, we had it because, it's part of our plan, but over there, they don't offer those plans.
Really?
Yeah. Yep,
That's
still
crazy.
Have to pay for data like we used to do. Yeah.
You get your block and, well, I guess, isn't that what, whatever it is, what do you guys have down there? Sprint? Sprint still around?
No, they're not around anymore. We have, like, I have AT&T, then there's Verizon, T-Mobile.
Oh, yeah,
Am I
maybe
back?
it's T-Mobile now. Yeah, you're back.
Yeah, you're
All
back.
right, there we go. All right, I switched to using my cell phone instead of my Starlink.
We were just saying that you're going to burn up all your data. You got unlimited?
Unlimited data, baby. on 19 lines, I think. I'll just burn up somebody else's data. They can't Google how to replace a tub spout tomorrow.
That's right. So
I think I
before you
missed
got
the
cut
whole
off,
Instagram thing.
I think you did. I was just saying that the best thing about Instagram is sort of the community that it creates, and the fact that the three of us can communicate. And there's literally hundreds of people now that I communicate on a regular basis about, what's going on in the world, what the newest product is, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. When back in the day when I first started out, it's a bit of a you're a man on an island, right? Like you're trying to run your own show.
Had to rely on just who you met personally and physically. If you wanted to know if you hadn't installed a certain valve and you wanted to know what it could do, what it can't do, you had to actually talk to somebody, which honestly, that's the best way, to be honest, one-on-one. But the fact that you can now talk to somebody a world away and you can develop a community, I think is fantastic. That's the best thing about social media, is building these communities.
That's one thing I appreciate. There's a lot of stuff that when I first started, I first started IG when I opened my business because I thought it'd be a great way to advertise. But then I learned that that's not what it's all about here.
Yeah.
It's I've gotten I can count on one hand how many jobs I've gotten from people watching my Instagram account. It's mostly the community, and I appreciate it because I never really got into drain cleaning when I first started. I was like, I have no desire to do it. But then I'm watching George and I'm watching Rob from Pro Drains and a bunch of other guys doing it, and they're telling me, that we meet up and they tell me how much money they're making doing it. I'm like, well, I'm probably leaving some money on the table here. A good source of extra income, something I can offer. At least, very least, something I can offer my customers without them having to call somebody else who could potentially steal my customers from me.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's exactly why
that's how I get into it.
I think those are excellent. The majority of my revenue comes from drain calls. So just a clogged kitchen sink, and that now becomes a jet or a mill or a liner or a replacement. Like those are key things to get in the door on. You can't, if you don't show up for the first part and do a diagnostic, you are leaving money on the table. And I know it's 100%. Not everybody's total. Everybody hates drain cleaning. Let's be honest. That's the worst thing you can do in plumbing, but it's the money. That's where the money's at.
We do. I mean, we're in the commercial space much more, but it's still, the reason that we do it is because we're in their spaces every week. I mean, if you're thinking of a community center or a restaurant or a hotel, they have thousands of drains in those buildings, and we are in there doing that. And then they're like, "Hey, want to look at our boiler? Want to look at our rooftop? You want to look at our water tank?" I'm like, "Absolutely."
Yeah, you're in for other things.
It's literally. Yeah. I mean, it's not a lost leader because we make great money at it, but we're in there and we become familiar, and then we become sort of the one-stop shop of providing everything for these guys. And there's really no opportunity for anybody else to wiggle their way in to say, "Oh, well, don't have Baker do this. We'll do this." He's like, "No, they do everything for us. Why would I call you specifically for this one little piece of our business?" So it really worked out well for us in the drain cleaning world. And I don't understand why people, I mean, I get it. It's a terrible job, but
yeah, it's like I said, it's the worst one you can do. It's where the money's at, especially if you move on to doing more aggressive things, like just running a K60 through a drain. I mean, honestly, anybody can do that. It does take a little finesse of learning where your cable's going and feeling when you're hitting a blockage or feeling if you're going the wrong direction. But in essence, you're just the snake's going to follow the path of least resistance. But when you get into things like descaling, rehabbing cast iron, that's where your money's at. That's in lining. The bad thing about lining is anybody can buy the equipment and you don't need any training. And you see a lot of disasters, especially, I don't know why people post the disasters on social media, but I would never post. I do post disasters just to say, hey, I messed up and this is why I messed up and don't let this happen to you. kind of from an educational standpoint, but I've seen people super proud of the liners they're putting in. I'm like, oh my God, that's the worst thing I've ever seen.
Isn't it? I mean, we don't do much of it up here, but isn't it a fairly technical process? I mean, it's like anything once you get it down, but like you're worried.
Yeah,
if you're
it's like chess. It takes 5 minutes to learn, but it takes the rest of your life to master. If you want to do it right and do it nice, there's procedures and it's a lot of lining is 90% fixing failures. Because it's going to happen. The equipment's not perfect. Something's going to go wrong. So you have to know how to remedy that situation. And if you just sold somebody a $20,000 liner to avoid chopping up concrete in their house, and now you've messed up a liner in the middle of their house, and the only way to fix it is to chop up the concrete, you look like an idiot. So you gotta know, all right, we're in a bad situation here. We need to figure out how to fix this and save face.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, we don't do much of it up here because our systems aren't as old as yours. You know what I mean? Like sort of out Calgary is whatever. You know, most of the stuff that we work on is 50 years old at most. Whereas, you know, your guys is some of the stuff, particularly Connecticut, right? Like you guys have like tree limbs in your basement that are holding up houses, right? Like I've seen that stuff.
Absolutely, yeah, yeah. I looked. My wife and I were looking at to get a new house, something a little bigger for the business because we're so overwhelmed. We're busting at the seams in our house now. But some of the houses we're looking at, same thing. They have the bigger houses are turn of this 1700s, and they have exactly like they take trees, saw them in half, and there's your rafters.
Yeah.
Those are your beams holding up your houses.
Well, I guess it proves is if you build it right with the right stuff, it'll last hundreds of years, right?
And it'll probably keep lasting longer than anything they're building right now.
Yeah,
it's true. They're slapping up those cardboard boxes pretty quick.
Yep.
So that's the positive side of Instagram and social medias. I do think, like you said, Travis, I don't think there's any advertising advantage to it. We do a lot on LinkedIn, and that has sort of connected me with lots of manufacturers because that's sort of their world. But again, I'm not getting any jobs out of that. And so there's obviously two sides to every coin. What frustrates you about this social media stuff? Be nice or don't.
What frustrates me on the social media side are the guys who they come in, they have brand new accounts, 6 months in, and they've already got 30,000 followers, 60,000 followers, and you could tell they're paid followers.
Yeah.
And all these manufacturers, all they're looking at is, oh, this guy has 60,000 followers, and he's only been on IG for 6 months. Oh, that's amazing. He must be really good. Let's sign him up. Let's give him stuff. Let's give him product. Let's pay him to push our stuff. Let's have him come do a ribbon cutting ceremony at our facility. It's like, but they're not real. They're not. There is no one. There's no one in the trades unless you're like, been on IG since its inception, and you have done tool reviews and unboxings, and you've done all this from the very beginning. There is no one on IG who has a legit 30 to 60,000 followers after a few months, because no one has content that's that good. And if you look at the content going up, either they're really smart and they know the algorithm and they can just like, oh, okay, yes, I know what's going to catch today, so we'll throw this in. But you're not going to sell me on a fact that you're going to take a toilet out, put a new one in, and all of a sudden you're going to do that 4 or 5 times, have 4 or 5 reels just doing that, and all of a sudden you have 30,000 followers after a couple months. You're not selling me on that. You're buying followers.
It doesn't jive.
I would say the same thing of guys that have been on for years, and they all they do is wax seals or, the algorithm is either the algorithm's stupid, right, or they're gaming it somehow to the point where it's just okay. We're just gonna Like there's nothing interesting about most of those accounts that are the big ones, right? That end up at the Milwaukee Pipeline event or whatever. You're like, okay, what do you do that's unique other than, the guy that did it 5 years ago that's now moved on to other things, right? Like there's nothing. How many stops can you change? How many, like you say, taps can you install? How many kitchen sinks can you clean? And the algorithm loves it all. The tub spout ones.
Yeah.
Right?
Tub spout's my favorite because the tub spout was like the golden goose for like 2 years straight. Everybody had tub spouts. I think at one point I was like, I should do tub spout videos. That's what I need to do. And I remembered, well, I don't get to do tub spouts because I do ground rub.
Right? We don't do very many tub spouts.
I'll do all that stuff on my stories, throughout the day because I like showing everyone what I do throughout the day. Yeah. So as I'm going through, I'm like, hey, this is what I'm doing today. This is, and I'll show the process. I'll show me doing it, and then, I've got an app where I can quickly take the video that takes 5 minutes and I can shrink it down into less than a minute, speed everything up, and then I can post it to my story real quick, so it's under a minute, and it's not boring everyone half to death as I'm unscrewing and screwing on a new tub spout, But yeah, to make a video of it and say, "Oh yeah, I went viral with a tub spout." I'm like, really?
Yeah,
I don't know if you're gonna do it. Show me something interesting. Show me like the craziest way to do it. Show me snapping your finger, and I don't know. Show me something more than taking a set screw out of the bottom of the tub spout and pulling it off.
Yeah. I think one time I did something similar. I think I might have a reel. I don't know. I think I've got like thousands of them by now. But I got a reel because Bob used to always talk about you tape then dope. That's the way it's always been, and there's a whole controversy. So I was always dope then tape. Sorry, Bob.
There you go. Don't get it wrong, man. It's like religious.
Dope then tape. And I was always taught tape then dope, so I always did that. But I've also done it both ways because I've seen sprinkler fitters in my area. That's how they do it. So it didn't, to me. It's like it doesn't leak either way, so I could care less.
It doesn't.
But that's the way I always did it. So in the height of this whole thing going on, like the third wave of it,
yeah,
I have a video of me putting on a new tub spout, and I went to put on tape on the male adapter, and I stopped. I looked both ways, put dope on, then I put the tape on, and then I screwed it on, and then I posted that.
It's interesting. I guess
that's where you get your views.
Yeah,
because people hate it so much that
they do hate it. It's interesting
because there's things people hate. It's like people hate on the stupidest stuff.
Yeah. Can you hear me again or no? Am I gone?
Yeah. No, I got you.
Yeah, we got you.
It's interesting because I mean, like I say, I worked for my dad forever, and that's how we did it. And then I ran my own business, and that's how we did it. And it wasn't until I was on IG and I saw somebody do it tape then dope, and I had the exact same reactions everybody has to me. I'm like, what in the hell are you guys doing? Like, that's not how we do this. And so, and it obviously, went crazy from there, but it wasn't some sort of, and I guess that's the good thing. It wasn't some sort of attempt to create controversy. It's literally how I've done it forever. And I've done it both ways now. And I'm like, yeah, it doesn't matter. It works no matter what you do. As long as you apply the principles, it doesn't have to be, unlike pipelining and epoxying, you gotta add the ingredients at the right time in the right mixture. But tape and dope, it doesn't matter. And I can't even tell you how many DMs. Bob, look at this guy. He's doing it the wrong way. I'm like, dude, I'm done. Like, it was fun and I had a good time, but you guys can. I'm moving on.
It's been done.
Yeah, it's over. It's been fun. And they've tried it now a couple of times with that crazy CPVC. Just last week. What's his nut?
Oh yeah, I just saw it being resurged. Was it? I think it was this week. I think it was yesterday or maybe Friday.
Yeah, it's a couple days ago.
It's back.
It was a couple days ago. I'm like, guys, it's over. Like, it works. Don't do it. I don't recommend you do it. In fact, if you don't own the company or get permission from the guy that owns the company, don't freaking do it. But if it will work. and you should go back and change it out when you have the material that you need to do it. But in a pinch, it absolutely will do what you need to do. And I find it,
it's like you always said, it's an emergency.
Yeah.
I think
I had no choice.
I mentioned to you before on this. I've done it myself on 2-inch CPVC when it was 2:00 in the morning, and I just needed to restore water to a 12-story building. All right, I'll be back in the morning. It's already flooded once, so floods again.
Yeah,
it's not the end of the world.
We're already dealing with the flood situation, so let's just get everything. Everybody can have their showers, and then we'll schedule the next shutdown and make it right. But none of those guys can see that, or maybe they can, and it's all about the controversy to get their likes and views and clicks, and everybody, no matter what anybody says when they say I'm not a drama person, I'm like, everybody's a drama person. Everybody loves a little drama. Everybody loves a little controversy. And so
that's why my page has gone nowhere. I'm very non-controversial. I just want to post plumbing stuff. I'm like, that's probably why I'm not getting followers without buying them, is because I'm non-controversial.
You got to change
all it takes
that.
Is one dope and tape video. That's it.
I know I should buy followers.
You got to fire that up, man. You got to start. You're gonna buy a few.
I'll buy a few followers.
They're cheap now. You must get those. You must get those messages. I get them every day. For $17,
10,000 followers.
Yeah. Well, it's Canada, so for $17, you can buy 100,000 followers. I'm like, man, I should just do that just to, oh well, now what are you gonna say? I have 500,000 followers like you. Like, F you.
What does it mean? It means nothing.
It means nothing.
I don't know why it's a race to do that. Sure, you can buy 100,000 followers. What's the best case scenario? You got a free screwdriver from somebody? Like, I can buy that screwdriver for $10. I don't need to spend the $17.
That's my contention, right? Like, when people say to me, you should, and it doesn't happen very often anymore, but Viega reached out to me last week and said, "Hey, man, we talked about that, didn't we, James?"
Probably, yeah.
What's his name, Bill?
Right now.
Yeah. When Bill reached out and he's like, "Well, I'll have to get it cleared." I'm like, "Yeah, dude, like, don't bother, because as soon as they hear my name, I'm out, and I really don't have the time to do it. And you can't pay me what I'm worth, right? Like, I am expecting, a couple $100 an hour for my time, minimum, right? Like, you did what was that thing that you did, Travis? Your East Energy Conference or whatever?
Oh, Eastern Energy Expo.
Yeah.
Did the boiler build? Yeah.
And you got paid for it to do it?
I got paid the amount of money I would if I was putting labor wise, as if I was putting a boiler in someone else's house.
Yeah.
And so did the other guy. So did the other guys. We all got paid.
Yeah. So I have no critique to that. Like, what am I going to say? Nothing. Like, you're in there, they're paying you what you're worth to do the job. You want to do it, off you go. As you said,
they told us to take 2 days to do a job that, the four of us could have banged out in half a day, but we had to stretch out for the full 2 days. And I'm like, you're paying me. I'll take as long as you want me to, because they wanted us to explain the process, to talk to people as they came up to the booth. And, they had a bunch of high school kids there in trade school asking questions, and they ended up with, one of them ended up with the boiler afterwards, and the whole project. They took it.
Oh, good.
They took it with them after the second day. So it was great. I'll do it again for sure.
And what kind of attendance did you have?
The Eastern Energy Expo isn't like massive. I really don't know how many were there. I'd have to look it up. But
you were busy. You were busy talking to people the whole time.
No, not that I wasn't. Mike was, and George. They'd have guys coming up to him, asking him questions and stuff. I was there. When I'm building something, I'm like go mode. I'm not really thinking, okay, stop and talk to somebody. But a few people came up and asked me questions, and I would answer them, or they wanted. There's a lot of guys there, surprisingly enough, who never so much as picked up a press tool before. They're like, oh, what's this? And I'd show them. We had to bring our own tools, so I had my press tool there, and I showed them how it works. I let them use it. Yeah, I let them go for it. This is how you do it. This is the process. Show them how it's done.
And I mean, I know we talked about that sort of offline a couple of times. That I think that's how that needs to be done. And the ones I complain about and have sort of posted about is like you say, they bang it out with 17 guys in 3 hours. I'm like, and who was that for? Like nobody. You installed this wrong, and that's in the wrong spot, and this is wrong. But does anybody know that? No. Whoever was it there, sort of the observing that. What kind of education or knowledge are they getting out of that? I think next to nothing, as far as I'm concerned. Right.
Well, there's a clear distinction between doing it professionally and educating people in what you're doing, and just doing it for show. For show is very easy to. You can tell that right off the bat.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when we were going over the material list, the four of us together, we wanted to make sure that it had real world application, right? So, okay, Mike, they wanted to bring the tubing bender. It was cool. It was beautiful. Mike actually legit bends all the time when he's on his job. Everyone's going to use a tubing bender, but
he's a master craftsman. That dude, yep, 100%.
He is. He's fantastic. I'm like, man, he can work that machine like it's nobody's business. It's awesome. So he did that, and then as far as materials, we're like, okay, yes, it's never going to see water, but we should build it as if it's going to, because that is what the point of this is. It's if this was going to see water, how would we put this together? We want to make sure that it's done correctly, to make sure we avoid the electrolysis and all the legit trade practices of the can't think right now, the good, good trade practices, whatever. Yeah, no, that's what it is.
Don't be nervous, Travis. Don't be nervous.
One more bourbon.
Just a little brain. Oh, okay. Just a little brain fog. That's all.
I thought you were drinking rum. I haven't seen you take it.
No, bourbon.
Bourbon. Oh, sorry. There you go. That'll make you feel better. There you go.
But so that's how we did it. That's how we planned it. Was based on real world application and how everybody should do it once they are in the field.
Yeah. And you said somebody walked away with that? Like one of the kids, or like one of the
trade schools? One of the trade schools.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. Yeah. And the teacher didn't, it was, we just chose I guess it's a random school. There's a couple schools. Was it a couple schools? There's one school in particular that was there for some kind of competition where they were soldering pipe. They grouped off into teams, and they had different judges, like the teachers and some other different judges from the Eastern Energy Expo would be there critiquing the kids as they were doing it, and then they'd have a winner of whoever did put everything together the right way. And that school is the one that ended up taking the whole project away with them. Yeah.
Sticking on their wall for educational purposes. It didn't end up in a wholesaler then.
Yeah. It did not.
Not a backdrop for somebody's podcast.
Actually, that'd be all right. That's not a bad idea. Maybe I should do one and stick it back here and say this is as functional as Instagram. 0.
I will say, things like that though, I have value. That Eastern Energy Expo with the boiler build, that had value. It was educational. There was many posts about it throughout the entire conference. And I think that as far as paid content goes, I have no problem with that. I have no problem with somebody who is using a certain product on a daily basis, and then you've seen use on a daily basis before there was any kind of endorsement or anything of that nature. But when you start seeing the pop-ups of clearly this guy has never used this product before in his life, and I'm just now seeing it and I'll never see it again, that's, I think, when you get into dangerous territory. That's when it becomes illegitimate, I think, at that point. But like I said, I have no problem. If you're using Milwaukee tools every single day and you're posting it, I've got no problem with that. I can clearly see you use it, and there's some legitimacy behind that. But if I see you using Milwaukee tools today and DeWalt tomorrow,
and Hilti next week, and By the way, this Ryobi is really a fantastic substitute for whatever. I do.
Meet the new Ryobi press tool.
Yeah. They're probably coming out with one, man. So,
there's been some strange rumblings on press tools, though. That is actually they were testing. A certain company was testing the Temu press tool just to see if it would actually make the connections properly. And
did it?
In here, it did not.
No. I'll fully admit, I bought a hydraulic press tool from. It was like a manual one to do some
actual hydraulic press. Yeah.
Yeah, but I got it from Temu. I'm like, I'm going to try this because it was like $80 or something to do some hydraulic hoses for a pressure washer. Anyway, total fail. Total.
Yeah.
Like I might as well just have thrown $80 out the window. I mean, it looks
What's
nice.
really interesting about that, though, is those manufacturing plants that are making the stuff for Temu and whatever are actually the same plants that are making
the same ones.
They're the exact same plant. They're using the same schematics. They might be going a little bit lax on the materials they're using, but it's the same factory that builds the $4,000 press tool.
Yeah. Well, whatever it was. I mean, this was the manual. It was absolute shit. Like it didn't. I mean, it looked good. I did my whole thing. I'm like, all right, let's turn this on, and literally got sprayed in the face immediately because it. And then the thing went shooting off. I'm like, all right, well, that is a total failure. Like I just should have done it properly or whatever. But anyway, that like you say, you see that's what. I mean, if you're just. If they would just be honest about that and say, listen, I'm absolutely here just to sell shit. And I'm going to use my platform and my name and my trade card, if you have one. Most of them don't have a trade card, to sell whoever to the highest bidder. I'm like, okay, well, then do it. It's when you have to do, that whole shimmy shake of, I'm actually a legit tradesman using this. I'm like, dude, no, you're not. Like, you're just not. I don't know how you think you're fooling anybody.
And the reality is they're not fooling anybody because we're having this conversation right now.
Yeah, and I'll give you my perspective. I personally, if someone wants to take and put their name and I have no problem with people getting paid to do things. That's their business. They can, if they want to promote Shark Bite or Eagle Claw push fittings or whatever's out there. Go ahead. I don't care as long as if you're getting paid and you're satisfied, go for it. It's none of my business. I ultimately don't care. But for me, I'm not going to do a paid promotion. I've actually refused to work with a certain brand a couple different brands because I don't want to put my name on it because it's more important to me than getting paid X amount of dollars to push a product that I don't really use. So anything you see me, any kind of paid promotion you see me do is because I actually use the product. And if someone comes to me and says, hey, we would like you to, like James and I work with PHCP pros. If I get a call from Nicole and she says, hey, so-and-so, they want you to work with them.
How is Nicole, by the way?
She's good. She's good.
Don't mention your name and everything's fine.
Say hi to her for me.
I'll text her when we're done and I'll let her
know. we had a lovely start to our relationship. I can tell you that. Anyway.
So if she comes to me and says, hey, this company wants to work with you. Have you, would you be willing to do it? Like there's this company that was trying to compete with supplyhouse.com. I guess some Chinese company.
Yeah, I remember that one.
All right. I'm like, all right, well, let me check it out. And I looked at them. I said, I will probably never use them, and I'll probably never buy products from them. So no.
Yeah.
And then there's another company that a pretty popular company that is in collab. I like their sister company a lot, but I don't like the main company. I won't put my main company. And part of their thing is, hey, we could ask you to post from either of these companies, and we would expect you to do it. I'm like, well, forget it then, because I will do it for this side, but I will not do it for this side because I'm not putting my name on that.
Yeah.
So to me, that's more important is the authenticity and legitimacy. So like you see me posting, I know you're a big. I'm not going to say you're anti-software guy, but I work with Tradeify, a software company. They reached out to me before Jobber, and I think the only reason Jobber reached out to me is because they see me doing stuff for their competition and they want to capitalize on it.
Yeah.
But I said, all right, listen, I'm actually looking for a new company, so it's probably good timing. I want to use it first. I want to see for myself if it's actually good, if it's legitimate, if it would actually benefit me in any way whatsoever before I go ahead and say yes and start putting my name on it and promoting it to my followers. So they said, okay, understandable. Here's how you get in. You get full access to everything for X amount of time. Decide if you want it, and if you do, we'll touch base again and we'll talk. I said, okay. So I did it, and I actually liked it. I'm like, okay, I can see because I'm doing everything by paper, by hand, still for scheduling, and I still don't use it to its full potential. I don't.
Which one's that?
Like
Which software is that?
Tradeify.
Tradeify.
So if you see me talking about, hey, they do this, they do this, they do this, I'm literally saying what they do. If you want to know what I use, then ask me. I'll tell you exactly what I use. It's just that there's so much. For me, it's if I was to actually pay for it, they give me the highest tier. So if I was to actually pay for it, I'd probably be in the lowest tier because that's the part that I would actually use the most.
Yeah. I'm not an anti-software guy. I'm not at all. I mean, we don't. I don't use any paper. I haven't touched a piece of paper in a decade, right? But my point is, or my contention is that it's not going to change my life. You know what I mean? Like if my business is shitty, I'm not going to get Tradeify or Jobber or Service Titan
your business is magically fixed.
Oh, that's the magic key, and that's how they. I get it's advertising and all the rest of that stuff, but that's the presentation that they make. Mm-hmm. It's like if you buy this, all your problems are solved, and you'll be on a beach looking at the money roll into your account. I'm like, dude, that is absolute bullshit.
Yeah.
And
no, you're absolutely right. Yeah.
And so I use software all day long, every day. Right. Mm-hmm. It's all digital. My
everything's digital.
Everything goes out. They fill out the work orders, get them signed digitally, goes back to the office via email, gets transferred from that file into our QuickBooks software, and then gets sent out immediately or within whatever that is, 3 or 4 minutes out to our client base. Like it's instantaneous. Like, and the last time I used a piece of paper was to doodle. Well, that's it. So I get it.
The only problem I have with software is that a lot of these companies kind of hold you hostage. So if you do want to switch to another software, now your entire customer database is owned by the server.
Yeah, it's that subscription model, right?
It's a subscription model. And if you want to leave them, now I have to re-input by hand every single customer, and it's a pain in the butt.
Well, there's a trick to that. You don't leave them first, and then you download. What you can do, seriously, then what you do is you download the PDF of your entire customer base because they have it all filed. You just call them and say, "Hey, I need a PDF of my entire customer base, just so I have it, just so I have a backup copy of it somewhere, or whatever you want to tell them." Then you have it download onto your computer. Then you switch over, and then you can upload that PDF of all your customers to the new software.
Okay.
Look at Travis playing the games.
Yeah, I mean they make I don't write the rules.
But that is true. Like that's how they get you, right? Like it's that, which is the model I can't stand, is the subscription model. You should own. If I'm paying, like, I mean, as a plumber, imagine. I mean, it's ridiculous, but it's the same concept. Okay, here's your toilet. You're going to pay me $15 a month for the use of this toilet, and if you miss a payment, then I'm shutting off the water to it. Right? You don't actually own your equipment, and there's in the hospitality space, lots of the equipment that we worked on is rented from Ecolab or whatever. What's the other one? Hobart? Is it Hobart? I can't remember. Anyway. And so if they're responsible for maintaining that, and if you miss your payment, then they're not going to come out and fix your stuff. When the digital stuff is the exact same. I should own my own customer base. I should own my invoices. I should own my spreadsheets and my reports. And you don't. In lots of those cases, you're like, okay, well, thanks very much. It's 6 months. I'm going to switch over. Like, okay, well, see you later. We'll just shut off the light. And you're right back to ground zero, right?
And you might be able to get away with a PDF of your customer base, but then you're losing your before and after photos and your videos and everything, because all that gets stored in their cloud storage and wherever it is in the world, wherever their server is.
What is it? Who's the camera one that I can't stand?
Oh, yeah, I can't stand that either.
Company Cam.
Company Cam. My brother uses it. I'm like, dude, you're insane. What are you doing? Oh, it actually, I'm like, yeah, what happens when you don't want to use it anymore?
Yeah, it's all gone.
I'm like, it's gone. Like they own it. They own you.
And we're in such a digital age now that even things as simple as a serial number, I don't write down a serial number of a heater or of any other equipment. I take a picture of it and I upload it to the ticket. But the moment I stop subscribing to that service, I don't even have that serial number anymore.
Well, you can't go back.
I'll be right back. I have to get a charger for my laptop before I.
Oh no, he's about to die! He's freaking out.
Got to be prepared, man. I was ready 4 hours ago. I had the battery. I had the Jackery solar battery ready to go.
Yeah, look at you. That's how it's got to roll, though, right?
Yeah,
got to be ready, man. And that's the joy of having the it all set up. I literally just come in here and flip on the switch, and I'm ready to go.
I sent Travis a picture right before we started. I said, I hope you're bringing your A game. Like, here's my mic ready to go, my laptop. I've got my my camera wouldn't work because I'm an idiot. But
that's hilarious.
Speaking of subscription services, I bought a camera because I've been using my phone forever to do everything.
Hey, go with that. Yeah.
So I bought a camera. You have to subscribe to the software that camera uses in order to use the camera. And
how's that even fair?
Name. It's not. So you spend $500 on a camera.
Yeah.
It's a useless piece of plastic if you don't pay the $50 a month or whatever the subscription fee is. It does nothing.
Have you seen car companies have started to try and do that? Like if with the electric cars, if you want extra horsepower, then this is what it costs you per month.
Yeah.
For an extra $30 a month, we'll give you.
Before electric, I drive diesel. I'll drive diesel forever until they stop making it.
Yeah, so do I.
With the computer chips in there, if I don't do the regen cycle and I don't clean my exhaust filter, the computer chip will just shut my truck down on the highway. Zero. No power, nothing. I got to take it to a shop. But there's nothing wrong with the truck.
Nothing wrong. I took all that stuff out. It cost me $4,000, and I took out the exhaust system, all the stuff. My truck runs perfectly. My gas mileage is like 8% better. My power is like, I don't know what the number is, but it's noticeably more powerful. And I don't have any of those stupid errors anymore. Like I used to get exhaust filter
check engine
error
lights all the time because
all the time.
Yeah.
High pressure rail fail. I'm like, what is this stuff? And so my mechanic was like, I'm like, can I get rid of this stuff? He's like, absolutely. I'm like, how long? It's like, I'll need it for 3 days. I'm like, rip it all out, man.
Yeah.
Like, get rid of it.
Take it out. And it's like the cat converters. I used to take cat converters out of the old Ford E350 vans all the time because it was always going to be a fault. But then you can't resell them because if you're just straight piped, you can't sell the vehicle. So you just have to ride it till it dies, which it's a Ford E350. You're going to ride it till it dies 100,000 miles anyway.
No matter what. Well, I saw a thing on Instagram that said that all the military vehicles don't have any of that stuff.
No, like absolutely not. You know why? Because if they're in the middle of a war zone, they can't have a fucking shut down the engine. But they can certainly do it.
We got to get out of the hot zone. Oh no, our exhaust filter.
Time out.
Our exhaust filter is clogged.
Hold on, I got a rail fail, guys. Time out.
Right? That was the most common thing on my truck is high pressure rail fail. I'm like, what even is that? I don't even know what that is. And since
mine was always the regen cycle, because in order for that regen cycle to start and to create enough heat in the exhaust to burn the exhaust or the debris off the exhaust, you have to be driving at 70 miles an hour for 45 minutes. That's in here. How am I going to get to 70? I can get on the interstate. I can't drive 75 miles an hour for more than a minute and a half.
And that's what I did it a couple times with my mechanic. He's like, get on the ring road, which is basically the interstate around Calgary, and drive it twice, and it'll clean everything out. I'm like, dude, I got shit to do. Yeah, I don't have 90 minutes to drive around at 100 kilometers an hour to heat this thing up to clean it out. Well, that's what you got to do if you want the code to clear and to get your engine power back. I'm like,
or for $4,000,
or for $4,000. No, it was the best. It was wasn't the best $4,000 I ever spent, but it was worth it. I haven't had any issues with it since. So, we were just talking about the software thing. Like, I think it's nuanced with everything we do. Like, it's not. I realize how the tone comes off that he's not a software guy, but I just think it's the message that they send is that it's the savior of your business. Like, if you're struggling, buy this software. I'm like, no. You need to go back to business school and figure out what a debit and credit is and how to write a proper invoice or how to sell something before you invest.
It'll certainly help you get organized if you're not organized. And it does certainly put information easier for you to get to. But you're right. It's not the be all end all. It's a helpful tool.
Yep. And there's so much of that stuff that's free, right? Like, if you organize your Google stuff and you organize your Windows email or your Outlook. Which one of you has Outlook? One of you guys has Outlook.
That's me. Yeah. I may as well have Hotmail. I still have.
No. We use Outlook too, right? And we have our own domain, but it all goes through Outlook.
Yeah.
Right. So and if you use that stuff properly, like, it all filters it out, and it's everything you need it to be, right? And you can organize your pictures and whatever so that you own it all. It just is not as convenient as tapping and having some other nerd has created the macros to make that happen instantly. But it costs you.
God bless the nerds, because I certainly couldn't figure out how to do it.
God bless the nerds.
You need to give me a screen that has a couple buttons on it that I can mash, and I'm good to go. I don't know how it works. I don't know anything behind it, but God bless you for making it happen for me.
It's true. And the best thing about the nerds is they need the plumbers, because they don't know how any of it works. So, like, listen, I don't know what I can make the behind the scenes buttons work, but you got to make this real thing in front of me work.
Yes. Right. Yeah. It's a trade-off, and one I'm willing to make 100%.
Yeah. 100%.
I'd like to own all my own data. I don't like that. I think toilet after it.
Yeah, I mean, I've said that before to people, and like, that's ridiculous. I'm like, how is it any different? I take a picture of something, I should own the picture forever. Because it's particularly if you're like you guys. I mean, we work for sort of the same groups over and over and over again, and work on the same equipment over and over and over again. And something fails, I'm like, oh yeah, what's the model number of that thing? Oh, well, too bad you canceled your company subscription. I don't know. You don't know. It's gone. Oh, now I got to drive
especially
down.
For you, if you're doing primarily commercial work, a lot of those companies are using like Service Channel or one of those other providers as your log in, log out.
Yeah.
And you can certainly upload a picture to Service Channel or whatever software they're using. But if you need to see that picture and you're not subscribing, you can't see it anymore. So,
do you guys deal with Service? We deal with Service Channel and another one called Rescue and another one called Cora Pro.
I do Service Channel. Those other two I'm not familiar with.
Never heard of?
No, I don't do any of them.
And so those are mandated by my clients, right? It's probably the same for you, right, James? Like, this is what we want.
You log in when you're on site. You have to log in through the service call.
I don't do any of that,
and it links up with your GPS or your truck. No, and all this nonsense.
I'm like, I will use it. I will. You can dispatch the calls to me through this, and we will tell you, when we're done or what the problem is. Like, we'll update you, but I am not. You are not monitoring me coming in and out. Like, I will not do the GPS.
I've had arguments before because they'll say, well, you logged in at this time. Yep. We saw that you logged into Service Channel 30 minutes before, and that your truck. And once you log into Service Channel, if it's on your phone, it's sharing that all the permissions that you don't realize it's sharing your GPS, everything to them. They say, well, you logged in at this time, but you charged me an hour and a half, and according to the GPS, you were actually only on site for 40 minutes. Well, yeah, I had to drive there. Like, well, we don't pay drive time. It's in our Service Channel agreement.
No, which is exactly why. And it was a fight at the beginning, but I'm like, listen, if you want me to work for you, I'm happy to use your software, but I am not. You can't check me in and out because our minimums are our minimums, and I don't care if I'm there for 5 minutes because somebody shut off the switch to the boiler. I'm charging you my 2.5 hours, whatever it is. And I get it. I
stopped working for a few companies because they insisted that I use it, and I was making no money. I'm like, you're sending me on an emergency call. You want me to figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
Then I have to call you to give you an estimate of repair, and God forbid I forget to add sales tax.
Mm-hmm.
I can't go back in and say, hey, it's this much, and then you give me a do not exceed of some stupid number, and then I have to call you and say,
$132.
I can't even get into my van for your do not exceed. It costs me more to walk from my house to my van than what you're giving me for my do not exceed price. I said, no, you guys got to increase that. And like the same, they wanted me to check in, check out. And I'm like, nah, I'm done with you guys. I make no money working for you. I'm not doing it.
No.
Stop calling me.
Yeah. Volume does not make profit. Doing 1,000 jobs for less than you would normally charge isn't the same as doing those $1,000 jobs.
Yeah, I work for one maintenance contractor, for one maintenance company, and they don't, in the beginning, they're like, all right, go to the job, fix it. If the price exceeds $550, call it in, give us an estimate. And once it's approved, even if it's not today, then you can go back and do it. But we'll, include in your estimate what you charge for going out there and say, even if the estimate doesn't get approved, you still owe me this for coming out. I'm like, okay, yeah, no problem. They're very reasonable. Now they got to a point they give me a work order, like, all right, whatever it is, just go fix it. I don't care.
Yeah.
We trust you. And I'm like, perfect.
With all the churches that we do, that's our arrangement. They all send me a do not exceed of $300. And I'm like, listen, we're going out to fix it because lots of these places are remote, right? Like, I'm like, dude, I'm a 3-hour drive away. Like, it's going to be $1,000 just for me to drive there. They're like, okay, well, our software won't let us do anything different. And so just go and fix it. And then when you're done, submit your, request to exceed the amount. I'm like, okay, well, you guys do that. I'll send you the invoice and you change it on your end and then everything's fine. And they've agreed to do it because I'm like, if you want me to do your paperwork for you, then it's going to increase the cost of doing business with me. And you're welcome. And they have every single person that has used those 3 softwares, Cora Pro, Rescue, and Service Channel, have all said, we're going to try somebody else. I'm like, do it. Let me know how that works out for you. Yeah. And within
it might
a month
work
or
for
2,
a week or 2. Yeah. Then they're coming back. It's like, all right, this guy doesn't want to deal with it.
You're like, hey, Bob, so we're sorry about that. Can you come back? And I'm like, no problem, man. It's fine. Everybody has to learn the lesson at least once that it's,
By the way, there's been a 15% labor increase
that's right.
since our last business dealing.
Since you treated me poorly, it's the next 3 months we have a premium of pissing me off. If you behave yourself, then we'll. But I know you talk about. I understand that we're in different markets, but certainly in this one, and it sounds like in yours too, Travis, that the hammer is swinging the other way, where you're able to dictate the terms of what's going on. Yes.
I'm sorry, you froze up there for a minute, Bob. I didn't hear you.
Oh, I realize it's changing a bit, or it's different in James's neck of the woods. But certainly up here where I'm at, and I get the sense where you're at, that you're able to dictate the terms of your work agreements and say, listen, you want me to work for me? You want me to work for you? This is what it's going to take. Is that true?
That is true. Yep. Yeah, there's no there's no set minimums. There's nothing like that. You could charge whatever you want. You just have to be careful. Like with any market, you're not charging yourself out of work because there's so many guys here that'll work. I mean, my area is a very blue collar area, so I get people, guys in California say, "Oh, you should be charging this much." I'm like, I'd love to, but I'd be charging myself out of work. I can't charge California rates in Connecticut, especially my area, because there's only so much people are willing to pay or can afford to pay before they'll say, I'm just going to try and tackle this myself. And then, or they know they'll get their friend to come out or whatever. So yes, you can charge. I just try to I try not to be the lowest guy, but I don't want to be necessarily the highest guy. I try to be in the high mid range. That way I don't get the tire kickers anymore, but I get the people who will actually pay and are appreciative of what I can bring to them.
And how much of your work is repeat?
Most of it.
Yeah. So once you get your customer base,
80 to 90% of it
is people that you've already worked for once or twice or a dozen times. Yeah.
Yep.
How about you, James?
About the same. I mean, a lot of repeat business. You have to keep the customer happy, and have a price that is in line with the rest of the area. There are some exceptions. We do have some large accounts where I can dictate terms because we have a few facilities that need a $2 million plus umbrella policy, and your average one truck guy doesn't have a $2 million umbrella policy.
Yeah.
So in those instances, we can kind of tell them, hey, look, you are $700 an hour because I have to pay $10,000 every 6 months just to keep the insurance policy to work in your property.
Right. Yeah. I mean, other
than that, it's like the same.
Those are distinguishing factors that, like you say, as a business owner, that you understand that other people don't, right? Like that's the cost of doing business, and that's why your price tag is what it is, right? There's no
I try to look at the private equity firms in my area, and I try to stay just below them.
Yeah. Private equity is eating up everybody.
Yeah.
I wish private equity would come at me because
are they gonna? Like, have you guys been approached by private equity yet?
No, not yet.
No,
I've almost weekly. I'll get an email from a private equity firm looking to buy my company, and they're like, "Oh, you have to be as long as you're within this yearly threshold." I'm like, I'm not, so that's okay. I'm good. you don't want me anyway.
What's their minimum? Like, where do they want you to be at? Like $1 million or $3 million or what?
It's like 2 million or something.
Before they take a serious look at you.
I love all these ads I see all the time, especially on social media of I sold my plumbing business for $2.5 million. Yeah, you were one guy in a truck with no office. How did you possibly sell to private equity for $2 million?
Yeah,
you don't own anything.
Yeah, it's true, right? It's just starting to come up here, and I said it a few times. I'm like, my number's 8 million. If you want to come and drop $8 million on my doorstep, then we'll have a conversation, right? And see what that looks like. But
I think in general, private equity firms, I don't think they're beneficial at all because it drives the price up because those are marketing focused and numbers focused people. They don't know about the trade and about making the customer happy and about fixing a problem. They want to see the numbers, and that's it. So once they own your company, even if they hire you on, and a lot of these firms will do that, they'll buy you out and they'll say, well, for a 1-year contract, you're going to manage this shop for us and make the transition.
Yeah.
Well, in that 1 year, you've already ruined your name because you have to do what they're telling you to do. All right. If you're $400 an hour, okay, well, now we have to be $600 an hour because we have this much investment in the company. And now you have to go out in front of your customers and say, well, we're 50% more now. Well, why are you 50% more? Well, we just are. Because numbers.
No,
which I don't want to devalue the trade. We certainly are worth a certain amount of money, but that changes things a lot.
From my perspective, for someone who is not selling out to a private equity firm at all, I kind of see the value of it in the essence where they do drive those prices up. So it kind of helps it so everyone else can slowly drive their prices up as long as they're stay below. It kind of, because their prices are so high that it drives work to guys like me, the one, yeah, where people were calling because they'll hire absolutely anybody off the street, anyone fresh out of trade school, throw them in a van and just shoot them to people's homes, charge them an exorbitant amount of money for, and not even fix the problem. I've run into that so many times where people are calling me and they're like, "Oh yeah, I had one recently. A customer of mine, I had to do a little covert operation and work out of state because he owns a house down here, but he lives in New York." And he's like, "Travis, can you please just come? I have this problem. They want to charge me $10,000 for this. Another guy wants to charge me $4,000 for this. Can you just confirm that these guys are correct?" I'm like, "Absolutely." I went up there. I found the problem in 10 minutes, and it cost them $5 to $6 in foil tape to fix the problem because there's an open duct. There's an open return duct. The problem was he had flue gases were from his water heater. He was spilling out. You could see it because around all the plastic rings for the hot and cold indicators were melting. And so a company went in there, and some kid with like 1 or 2 years experience of having his license told me he needs a new water heater. So I threw him a new water heater, and he was sending me pictures. I'm like, "How old is your water heater?" He's like, "Oh, it's 15 years old." I said, all right, just chalk it up to you're living on borrowed time with that thing anyway." He goes, "But I'm telling you, the problem is something else. It is creating a negative pressure." Another company went in there, said, "Okay, you don't have enough fresh air, so you need to bring fresh air in." And he called the first company back. They said, "Okay, well, you're going to have to run a dedicated flue outside for that water heater, run it outside and up the side of your house." I was like, "Holy cow, what is going on?" I said, "It can't be that bad."
Yeah.
So I finally agreed I would just go there. I said, "Let me go there. Let me see." There is a return duct with a wide open 6-inch hole right next to it that every time his air conditioner or his furnace went on for any reason, it would suck all the air out of the room and pull all the exhaust out of the from his flue from his water heater, and that was a problem. So I said, "There's a problem right there." Put some foil tape on it, tested it, had a little smoke pen, tested before just to double check, tested it after for a good 5-10 minutes. Problem solved.
Problem at all.
He was so grateful, and he calls me for everything. He invited me to his daughter's engagement party.
Oh, is that who I think it was?
Yeah.
It was? Okay.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
So yeah, those are the business
that's
model.
What makes the difference
of those companies is sales. It's sales. Yeah. So they're not training tradesmen. They're training salesmen. And they just hope they have 1 or 2 tradesmen on staff that can go do the work that the sales guys sell.
I was talking to that guy in California, and that's what he says. He'll sell $300,000 worth of work, but there's the guys that go to do it don't know what they're doing, right? And create all sorts of problems. Which just, to bang on my own theme, if you know what you're doing and are willing to put in the effort, like the world is yours, really. Like you should be able to charge just about whatever you want. You just got to get down there in Florida and get them to get their standardized fucking training going. So it's not like the Wild West and anybody shows up and I'm a plumber too today. Are you? Good for you.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, you can go to Home Depot and buy a Husky pipe wrench and go apply at a plumbing company and probably get hired.
Now, that's an
exaggeration, but
it's probably not that much of one, though.
Probably not much one of them. Yeah. It's
what about your wholesalers? Will your wholesalers sell to anybody?
They will. They will actually sell directly to consumers.
Really?
Yep.
So you can walk up to the counter and be Joe Schmo and buy a boiler if you want to. You can buy a whole air conditioning system at the counter.
Yeah, there are some limitations, but ours will, and it's very much dependent on the wholesaler. Some will not sell any gas appliance to any homeowner. Others will sell anything to any homeowner that walks in, but they will not give advice at all. They're like, "Okay, so how do I do this?" So like, you have, I don't know. I just sell this stuff. Somebody. That's what they tell them. They're like, if you need to know how to do it, you'll have to call a licensed plumber or a licensed HVAC tech
to do it.
We do have certain products that they will not sell, particularly like track pipe and gas tight and like those kind of things. They'll say, all right, wait, are you certified in gas? I can't sell you this if you're not certified. But honestly, that's like a 2-hour course on the internet. And you can print out a card and then go to the wholesaler and buy whatever you want.
That is bananas to me. That is allowed and kosher. Like, I just don't know.
And we have waves of it here because we had a big housing boom in the early 2000s. So everybody from every state in the union was coming down to Florida because there was
in the next 6 months. Really? Right? Well, our prime minister just came out, and because we're having the same issue, well, we have too many people. But he just said that he's going to do. He's putting $5 million in to increase. Like, he wants to increase the trade numbers significantly over the next 3 years. I'm like, dude, there's no way you can do that. Like, how are you in the system that we're currently in? How are you going? Like, you're going to flood the market with people that don't know what the hell they're doing, and you're going to wreck everything. And then all you're going to do is create more work and more problems instead of solving them. Right? Anytime the government shows up and says, "We're here to help," you should freaking run for your life. Is how that should like get the hell out of here. And I thought Florida was far more. I mean, isn't DeSantis like super focused on business, or am I misreading that? Yeah, everything else is fair game, is out. We don't need it. It's crazy. That's the biggest thing that boggles my mind about the states is just how unregulated it is state to state. Yep. It's fantastic. Yep. Yeah. What are the U? Yeah. Somebody was telling me that Philadelphia has its own code too. Yeah, which is crazy. Which I guess, it just speaks to how I guess the rigidness of trying to solve real world problems. Like, we don't care. We just want to keep our, keep it the standard or the status quo. Yeah. Yeah. And so you have the UPC and the IPC. Is that what it is? Or uniform? Yeah, ours is the Canadian Plumbing Code. And then we have amendments per province. The same. And all you can do is, like, Alberta has some stuff because we get so much snow. Like, we have to increase our vent size when we go through the roof, and it has to be at least 18. Like little tiny modifications. BC has a couple. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Yeah. Really? That's crazy to me because it's here. It's like an announcement, right? Like our codes are good. Like the plumbing code is good for 5 years, and then on a regular every 5 years, like okay, we're gonna have some. We've dug into some stuff, and now we're dealing with high efficient boilers or some new type of pipe, or you know what I mean. As the technology changes, like okay, this is what we want, and they list them and they send them out. I mean, I guess there is some. Um, I probably don't get the emails, but it's certainly circulated to the point where nobody. If you say you don't know, it's because you're not paying attention. But it's there, and there's that grace window of whatever it is, about a year. Like okay, well, this came in at the beginning of 2005, and by 2006, like we're coming after you if you don't do it right, type of thing. Which yeah. So they make the amendments with no like so they can make these amendments randomly as they want. Like tomorrow, they could be like, "Listen, you don't get to use PEX anymore for whatever reason." Crazy. Yeah, same here. Yeah, that's what it is. Well, that's yeah. It's every 5 years here, unless it's something. I don't think I've ever seen one that was drastic enough to sort of update midstream of the code. Yeah, and well, yeah, to make it work. Yeah, the only um, the catch-all is the jurisdiction has authority and the manufacturer's instructions. So if there's nothing in the code that says specifically about a piece of equipment, then the inspector is going to go, "Did you install it per the manufacturer's instructions?" I'm like, "Yep," and you're done. You know what I mean? Like there's not some weird uh, arm wrestling to find out who's right and who's wrong type of thing. So it's yes, same here. There you go. The highest authority. Yeah. Yeah. And I wonder if that's got money attached to it because do they have to get it like does Viega? I mean, there's no doubt because they have to, whatever they have. Every product that they make has like 15 initials after it, right? Saying it's been approved by this jurisdiction, this jurisdiction, this jurisdiction, which basically means we paid these guys and these guys and these guys and these guys, and they all accepted our money. So now we're, approved for that install. Florida just hasn't got their money yet. Is that the deal? Oh, and fail them. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Yep. You can. You can hide anything you want, right? Nate, we've had a big. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Look at everything's good. Yeah, no, you can see, and then you flip it to you and be like, yeah, no, everything's super good, and then you keep going down the line where you have like a massive hole in the middle, and you get it past. They did the same thing in Calgary where they were running out of inspectors, and so they made them all like universal inspectors. So we'd have a framing inspector show up to do our plumbing inspection, and they'd be like, yeah, yeah. So he's like, no, I know what I'm like. What? What? Tell me about this, Bob. I'm like, maybe they've taken notes from Paige, All Trades Paige. Maybe she's on top of it and telling everybody how to do it. Oh, you guys aren't going to test that one. All right, that's fine. No, listen, James. I got confirmation that that picture that was sent out to everybody is real. Yep, 100% real. And the people involved are frantically trying to quell it before it gets. I don't know either. Yeah, I'm not going to do anything with it. But I was talking to somebody else. I guess. No, I don't know. No, I've been the only one that I've had that conversation about is James and someone else who will remain nameless, who literally phoned me up and said, because I've made a couple of allusions to it, and he's like, dude, just so you know that the involved parties are trying their best to get the genie back in the bottle. I'm like, dude, there's no way you can get that back in. It does involve the same person that no, you're in trouble, man. It's all going to come out, and it's going to be awful. It doesn't. It'll affect them. I think it's. I don't know how you do that. I don't know how you're taking selfie in those particular situations and not and thinking that it's all going to be just roses. James, like, gee, send this out, man. Make it go wildfire. No, like you're gonna have to spice it up some more, James. You gotta get some Florida. You gotta get some Florida man stuff in there, man. There's plenty of that stuff. Yeah, every day, right? Isn't there like some calendar that say here's what's happening in Florida today? That's absolutely insane. Yeah. Oh, did you? Oh, did you send him the picture? Oh, okay. Well, that's fine. I'm not sending it to you. Yeah. No, I've kept it pretty low key, obviously, and then literally out of the blue, like a week ago, I got a phone call, and he's like, "I know exactly what you're talking about." I'm like, "No, you don't." He's like, "Yeah, I do," and he basically described the whole thing, and he's like, "It's real, it's 100%," and those people are freaking out. I'm like, "Well, good for them, because they should freak out." You do know. You do know the answer to all of it. You know it all. It's just that no, it's absolute bananas stuff. And like you say, everybody's an adult, or certainly acts like an adult, until things go sideways and they all start crying. Oh no, that's private information. Then why is it on the internet if it was private? Why take a picture of it? Yeah, man, like go have your good time, but like, leave the cameras at the door. Leave the cameras at the door. That's how that goes. No pictures allowed. All right. Well, we've been at. Yep, they're all adults. All adults. Well, we've been at it for like, and Travis is on like his second bottle of bourbon. And is it still your first one? No. Yeah, no, like you say, he downed it there a minute ago, and now it's back to quarter full. So we should hang out for like another 45 minutes and see what happens. Maybe Travis will get some selfies out of Travis. You want to get some followers, Travis? This is how we do it. Yeah, this is how we do it, man. Controversy and sex. That's all that sells anymore. Yep, that's exactly how it's done. Yeah. All right, gents. Anything to add to our fabulous discussion? We didn't really get into the Canadian, U.S. craziness, and there's always it's the top. Yeah, the topics are never ending. I appreciate you guys taking the time to. It won't take much, right? What happened today? Didn't Israel? Didn't they bomb like Qatar and Saudi Arabia's? And Saudi Arabia is prepared to defend Qatar. I'm like, oh great. Israel's just doing whatever the hell they want over there and hoping that it turns in. No, you can't. Nothing but support, right? Nothing but support. You get yourself in trouble. Anyway, and line it up. We'll make sure we make a clip out of that. We'll clip that one and stick it on the thing. It's not going to turn it into any money, though. It's just more clout. No, just clout. Yeah, 100%. Okay, I'm gonna pause this thing, and thanks for joining, everybody. See you on the DMs, I guess.